Good afternoon. Welcome to Subtracting Rational Numbers. Our focus today is how is subtracting rational numbers different than subtracting whole numbers. We subtract a fraction or a decimal the same way we subtract an integer. For any rational numbers a and b. Remember, a minus b is the same thing as a plus negative b. Remember, stop. Add the opposite. A minus a negative b equals a plus b. So, in our first situation, we always write our subtraction as adding the opposite. So negative 3/5 minus 4/5 equals negative 3/5 plus negative 4/5. Because the signs are the same, we're going to add the fractions. 3/5 and 4/5 gives me 7/5, and because it's negative, we're going to carry the negative with us. In the second situation, right subtraction is adding the opposite, so negative 9.1 minus negative 7.6 becomes negative 9.1 plus 7.6. Because the numbers have different signs, we're going to subtract the two and take the sign of the quote-unquote larger number. So in this case, when I subtract, I get 1.5. Because the 9.1 is the larger number, it's negative. My answer is negative 1.5. Which number line model represents the subtraction expression 1 1/3 minus a negative 3/8? Okay, so I have to start with 1 3/4, and I start at the 0. So here is 1 3/4 minus tells me I'm going to the left. A negative tells me, oh, now instead of going to the left, I'm going back to the right. Got a double negative here. So it's not the first one, so let's see the second one. So here is my 1 3/4 minus a negative, means I'm going back to the right, and it is 2. Oh, sorry, let me read the question first. The temperature at which liquid turns to gas is its boiling point. The temperature at which a liquid turns to solid is its freezing point. So here is liquid nitrogen's boiling point, and here's its freezing point. What is negative 210 minus negative 195.79, and what does this difference mean? So I have to remember, stop, add the opposite. When I combine those two numbers, I'm going to subtract and take the sign of the larger, and when I do that, I get negative 14.21. Of course, we are doing this without a calculator, so you have to do some borrowing here. When I look at that, what does that number mean? It means the difference. The difference means liquid nitrogen freezing point is 14.21 degrees Celsius lower than its boiling point. Remember, negative means direction, so if it's a change of negative 14.21, it means it is decreasing or it's lower. So let's look at this question here. We have a triangular graph, and it says a new road that connects Uniontown to Springville is 4 1/3 miles long. What is the change in distance when using the new road instead of the dirt roads? So what I have to do is find out how long it takes, how far it is on the dirt roads. So I have 3 5/6 plus 2 3/8. When I add in fractions, I need common denominators. In this case, my common denominator is 24, so I have 3 20 24s. Remember, I multiplied here by 4, so If I do it to the denominator, I do it to the numerator. Here, if the common denominator is 24, I gotta multiply the numerator and denominator by 3, which gives me 2 and 9/24. And I add vertically, I get 5 and 29/24. Oh, I can't deal with this here. That's not good. So 24 goes into 29 once. That brings me to 6 with 5/24 left over. Okay? And that is miles. So we know how long it takes us to use, or how far the dirt roads are. The new road is 4 miles long. So what is the change in distance? So I have to take the longer distance. 6 and 5/24 minus my smaller distance of 4 1/3. I need common denominators. Again, the common denominator is going to be 24. Oh, 8/24. I can't subtract that from 5/24, so I have to borrow. So when I borrow 1 from 6, it becomes 5. And then I have to add 24/24 to 5/24, gives me 29/24. And now I'm finally ready to subtract. 29 minus 8 is 21/24. And 5 minus 4 is 1. And our unit is miles. I really don't like this because it's not in simplest form. So 3 goes into there 7 times, 3 goes into 24 8 times. So it's 1 7/8 miles shorter. I'd like you to read through this question and try answering it. 31, 32, 33. There are 3 questions. Read through those and we'll come back. So when I looked at this question, first I studied my graph, and then I answered the questions. What is the difference between the wettest and driest months? Well, the wettest month is 2.36, it's the highest bar. The driest month is the one that's the lowest, negative 1.67. So I have to find the difference between the two. So 2.36 minus negative 1.67 gives me 4.03 inches. That's quite a difference in rain, that's significant. For the second question, they want me to find the sum of the differences for the year. So what I did first was I added up all the negatives, and I got negative 7.60. Then I added up all the positives, and then I combined the two, and I got negative 1.73 inches. And they're telling us, what does the sum tell you about the rainfall for the year? And the rainfall is 1.73 inches below the historical average over that time, or over that year. On the next slide, there are 9 questions. I want you to answer these questions for class tomorrow. I want you to show all work in an organized manner. So you can use the bottom of the slide, you can use the margin if you need to. Please show all work. Have a great night. I'll see you guys tomorrow.